Good morning, good morning, good morning, my brothers and sisters. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome, welcome, welcome to another Good Morning Grief devotion. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. So grateful and thankful for this time, for this opportunity, for this day to come to you to lead you in a very special way in today's Good Morning Grief devotion. Hey, this is the daily grief devotion that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? I'm so glad you asked. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is the natural and normal response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. Grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is how we reveal it on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up, but we let it out. And that's why we shout good morning, because morning is a good thing. And I'm so glad to be here with you on today to lead you in a very special way in today's Good Morning Grief Devotion. Today is a good one. It is going to be a quick one. You know, on Sundays we keep it short because we're headed to the house of God. As a matter of fact, I want to encourage you to join us today at the City of Hope Community Church, 10607 East 56th Street. If you can't, you can watch virtually, right? It'll be a blessing to you one way or another. You don't want to miss it, y'all. So here we are. Today's grief devotion. Today is day 162, 161. Let's have some fun. We're going to talk about I'm seeking reconciliation, not resolution. I'm seeking reconciliation, not resolution. Understand this, beloved. I won't get over my grief. It will never truly end. I won't get over my grief. It will never truly end. I need y'all to understand this. Grief is not something you just get over. It's not something that you go through one, two, three, four, five, six, seven steps where you do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and all of a sudden, poof, pow, be gone. It's over with. I'm done, right? The reality is, this is something that you will contend with probably for the rest of your life. It will always be there somewhere, a thought in your mind of the coulda, woulda, shouldas, a thought in your mind of how old they would have been, or what would they have been doing, or what things would have been like. A little thorn in your side of the pain of just feeling whatever you feel, right? That you want. I love what it says because it's so true. I need you to hear it. I won't get over my grief. It will never truly end. Now, while that is true, I do want you to know that as you navigate through the process, as you go through the steps, as you continue to progress on your grief journey, what happens is you gain ground, you grow, and you develop a great capacity to be able to endure what you've experienced, right? It's just like anything else. You go to a trainer, you can't do one push up. You feel so weak, you feel so helpless, you feel so hopeless. But the more you go, the more you engage, the more you work out, you find yourself eventually having the strength to do eventually what you could not do initially. It's the same thing. The more you mourn, the more you go, the more you grow, the more you develop, you find yourself developing the strength and the capacity to do what you could not do before, right? And so it may be there to some degree, but you have the strength to handle it. You have the strength to navigate through it. You have a built up capacity that enables you to deal with the dilemma that you've been facing. Here it is. Check this out. I love it. I won't get over my grief. It will never truly end. Instead, my loss experience will become an integral part of who I am. You don't get over it, it becomes a part of you. It becomes a part of who you are. My story of love and loss will be featured in the tapestry of my life. Y'all, I love it because, and this is everything that happens to us, right? Everything that happens to us, it becomes a tapestry of our life. That God begins to weave in our hurts, our losses, our wins, our victories, our ups, our downs, our good days, our bad days, our joy and pain, sunshine and rain. He begins to weave it into the DNA, into the fabric, into the tapestry of our life. It becomes a part of who we are. It becomes a part of who we are, right? It makes us stronger. It makes us wiser. It makes us better. It makes us uniquely who we are. It is woven into the tapestry of who we are, right? Our loss, our experience, our pain, it becomes a part of who you Or I love it because it's so true. I wish I could go deeper into this. It's so true. Instead, my loss experience will become an integral part of who I am. My story of love and loss will be featured in the tapestry of my life. I can't resolve my grief, but I can reconcile it. So many of us try to resolve it. We try to, it has to resolve. It has to, that word resolve. I think of a chord, a musical chord. When there's tension or there's something in the chord, it always resolve. It always comes down to a note to where there's harmony and peace and this, that, and the other. This is the thing. I can't necessarily resolve the grief. There are some things. Let me say this. There's some things you got to wrestle with. There are some things you gotta wrestle with, right? I know it would be perfect if we could resolve every issue, if we could resolve this, that, and the other, if we can resolve, if we could, but there are some things that we live in the tension of, right? There are some things that we continue to live in the tension of. And I know we always want peace and harmony. We want everything to just come together and everything to resolve. But there are some things you live in the tension of, right? There's some things you live in the tension of. Paul wanted that thorn removed from his side. God said, nope, my grace is sufficient. He said, there are some things you got to live in attention. There's some things you won't remove, but I'm going to allow them to remain because there's some things you live in the tension of, but understand that God will give you the grace to deal with it, right? And so, not going to always resolve the grief, not going to always resolve it. I can't resolve my grief, but I can reconcile it. I can integrate it into my life as I find ways to live the rest of my days with meaning and purpose. For some reason, this is the thought that just popped into my mind. For some reason, you see a lot of time. I don't know if it's a good illustration or not. I'm just roll with it. You see a lot of times like circuses, and you got these circus acts, and you got these unique people, right? It's very unique people, whether they're short, whether they can do things that can't nobody else do. Whether they got certain abilities, certain things that are just woven into the DNA or to the tapestry of their life. And so a lot of them, they join the circus. They join the circus because whether people call them a freak show or whether people, whatever, they join the circus because what they're dealing with is so unique, right? That here it is, they can't resolve it, but they do reconcile it. They can't resolve it, but they make it an integral part of their life, right? That I can't resolve being this short, right? But I can integrate it. I can make it an integral part of my life. I'm gonna join the circus. I'm gonna travel around the world, and this thing that I have that I can't get rid of, it's going to become a part of my life, right? I'm gonna live with it and utilize it in a way that's I don't know, beneficial, instrumental, whatever the case may be. I don't know why I thought of that, but there's certain things, right? When it comes to loss, change, and transition, certain things you may not be able to resolve, but you can reconcile. There's certain things that become an integral part of your life. You integrate them into your life. You find ways to live the rest of your days with meaning and purpose. There are so many people, they can't change the outcome of the loss, change, and transition that they've gone through. They've lost loved ones, but they've done things to integrate that into their life, and they live the rest of their life with meaning and purpose, right? Whether it's a scholarship fund, whether it's a yearly breakfast for young men, whether it's doing something in honor of the person that died, with whatever it may be, right? I can't resolve it, but it can become I can integrate it into my life, and I can spend the rest of my life living with meaning and purpose because of this thing that's latched itself and attached itself to me that I wanted. I wish it could be removed, but God says, no, I'm going to let it remain. So I'm going to live with it, right? This is what you got to know and understand. Here's the final thought. I love it. It's so good. I do not resist. Instead, I allow. Everything belongs. Ooh, that's so powerful. I do not resist. Instead, I allow because everything belongs. So many of us, we resist, we fight. We fight something that if you would just submit to it, if you would just surrender to it, I know you're fighting the fact that they're gone, right? And this is the thing, and I say this with love and compassion, they can't come back, right? And so we're fighting the fact that they're gone. If we understand that we can't resist, right? I do not resist. Instead, I allow. That allow means I submit, I surrendered to the nature of my circumstances, right? I get to the point of acceptance. I surrender. I submit. Why? Because everything belongs. And I know you say, man, like, hey, they belong here. I wish they belong. I'm with you 1,000%, right? We get to the point that we begin to know and understand. Here it is. I'm seeking reconciliation, not resolution. Look, I hope this word was a blessing to each and every one of you. It was so good. I wish I had more time to really get into it. It's so good. But I hope and pray y'all have a sensational Sunday. Thank y'all for joining us on today. I might have to do a follow up with this one. You hear me? Hope and pray y'all have a sensational Sunday. And hope to see y'all in the house of God on today. I love y'all with the love of the Lord. We out. Good morning.